Thanks, Barb. Yes, it has been a pleasure. The last 3 years we've been working together on Exascale. It may actually be coming to fruition, so I think stay tuned to hear things from the Secretary on Exascale. I think we're going to have some interesting things to say in the coming month or so. So let me start. Yes, I'm not Dmitry Kuznetsov. You'll hear from him later today. But many of you saw him come up and speak a year ago and talk a lot about high-performance computing at NSA and how it was used to solve some problems for the nation, like a satellite shoot-down, like discovering why the space shuttle actually, the accident occurred, what was the root cause of that. So I'm not going to talk much about that context of high-performance computing. In fact, I'm going to focus a bit on LDRD, you'll see here in a minute, because it's along the lines of what Barb was telling you about opportunities you're going to have. One opportunity is the LDRD program, so we'll talk about that for a minute. Yes. So the first thing I wanted to do was remind you as to why Barb and I in the department is investing in CSGF. The simple reason, the bottom line, and this comes off your website, by the way, so I'm sure you can all recite that. But I think we would say the bottom line is because the nation needs professionals and leaders that can, in the science and technology areas with computational science backgrounds. It's important for the nation. If we look at how science is going to be done in the future, if we look at how our nation competes and the security of our nation, it's going to depend on folks like you that have the experience in computational science and how to use high-performance computing to work on the problems of the nation. If you heard, I like the little statement that the Council of Competitiveness put out, that to outcompete, you must outcompute. We believe that. We buy into it. We believe that 20 years ago. We started this program. It's been successful, and we're going to continue supporting this program. So we want to build these computational scientists and these leaders in that field. I want to shift for a second to a program that's done at the national labs. All DOE national labs have a program called Lab-Directed Research and Development. There are also other names, Site-Directed Research and Development, and others that capture a large community of science and technology at our national labs. The reason why we have that program is because sometimes when you go to the labs, you get focused on the job that you're hired to do at the labs, and you don't get much free energy to go out and explore things. LDRD program is specifically put in so that the labs can take some money, they set it aside, and they use it to fund research and development, high risk, potentially high reward activities. The things you're doing today, you can go to the labs and you can continue that to take your work to a higher level. In the end, the reason why you want to do those kind of things is because if you look at how projects are funded and you get focused on your work every day, sometimes you miss the opportunities that you might have if you tried something that wasn't performance-based, let us say, right? If you're working for somebody and they expect a product from you, they're not going to give you a lot of time to go out and try things that might fail. The labs have, and interesting fact here, the labs have $500 million a year that they invest in high-risk opportunities. Things then that discoveries can then feed back and actually change the way science and products are delivered at the labs. So it's really a great opportunity to do fun and interesting things at the labs. I list the fun facts here. There's just in the last fiscal year alone, there were 1,700 LDRD projects going on across all DOE labs. Now I'm going to pitch a little bit for the NNSA labs. 60% of those were at the four NNSA labs, because I include the Nevada test site as one of our labs. There were 994 postdocs that were funded by those activities. Opportunities for everybody in this room. They resulted in 1,800 refereed publications, 141 patents that have been granted, and 453 invention disclosures. What a great opportunity for folks to get to the labs and work. Another important thing, and I didn't list it here, but another important outcome of the LDRD program is it allows folks in the labs to engage with the academic community and people in industry. So as Barb was saying earlier, she listed all those ways that you can stay engaged in the labs. This is a way from inside the labs for you to engage with folks in the outside community. And that's terribly important to the labs because as you go there and you get ensconced in day-to-day activities, you can lose connection with a larger academic community. This is a way that provides the opportunity for you to do that and bring new ideas and bring new ideas into the lab. And the labs work with academia and talk to them about opportunities that to help support national security and competitiveness. By the way, there's a report that's sent to Congress every year. If you're interested in kind of the program in a large sense, you can get this report to Congress. I think there's links in there to some of the work that's done every year. So all I want to do now is I've got 10 examples out of about 1,000 that have been at the NNSA labs, just to give you a flavor for the kind of activities that people are going and the scope of activities. There's things of interest for science. There's things, scientists, engineers, come up with your laundry list of specialties. These two examples come from Sandia National Lab. They have done some research on flexible solar cells. Mantivo is a performance analysis tool for high performance computing. And both of those won R&D 100 awards that they're pretty proud of. And at the bottom, they do a lot of fire science out at Los Alamos, or at Sandia, and they built some laser-based diagnostics for understanding the species in these kind of fires. These are examples from from Los Alamos. On the right, it's a computer vision system that basically processes images and picks features out of images faster than humans can do that. It has a wide range. I know you can't read those things, but a wide range of ways or areas that you can look at. The top is feature recognition in picking out objects on the ground, maybe moving objects, dogs, cats, and things from a picture. The middle one is actually looking at climate and climate features across time. And the bottom one is finding cancers in tissues. They also have a product. The middle one is a software product. Turns out it runs on a microprocessor. You don't need an HPC for this, at least in this current instantiation. But it's DNA analysis software that has 5 orders of magnitude better performance than anything that's on the market today. So there was a lot of science that went into understanding how you look for things in DNA sequences. It wasn't just a simple computer science project. And last, we see some new ways of doing hydrocodes. It turns out that we in NNSA are particularly interested in violent explosions, and it turns out we've had a historical problem of meshes tangling when you do those kind of things. Some new techniques have come up with a way of tackling that problem that have been successful. The one at the top, we talk about computational advancements and emerging biothreats. Actually, that's a bad title. I recognized when I put it on there this morning. What they're doing at Livermore actually is creating a computational human, or where you understand the physiology of the human body and its reaction to drugs, so that you can now experiment with injecting drugs into a patient and understanding what the impacts of that are, so that you can go through drug testing very quickly, as opposed to the long trials that you need in today's FDA approval process. You'll still have to do that approval process, but you can knock out a lot of dead ends potentially using this tool. Now, once you have that, one of the great things you can use it for is bioterrorism and understanding a bioagent, what its impact is going to be on the population. In the bottom, we go back to another problem that's important to the stockpile, and that is plasma physics, but in extremely high energy density regimes. We do a lot of that kind of work and provides especially opportunities for NIF experiments. So if you want to work with the largest laser in the world, there's opportunities to do that at Livermore. Traditionally, people don't think of the Nevada Nuclear Security Site, which is the Nevada test site, as a science lab, but in fact they do a lot of science and especially engineering there. Two of the things they've accomplished recently is built a dense plasma focus pulse power fusion reactor that they use for experiments. So not only did they design it, engineer it, build it, they're using it to do experiments. They also do things like build gamma ray detectors and look at special materials that do that with higher fidelity than we've ever been able to do before. So those are 10 examples of kind of a breadth of things. They cover science, they cover engineering. Hopefully there's something of interest to you. And again, that's only 10 out of 1,000 projects. So if you're interested in more, let me know. So as I leave you, though, the whole process from the beginning to the end of my discussion was, why is this important to us? It's important to us and it's important to the department to invest because we feel like we're investing in the leadership for something that's important for the nation for tomorrow. You know, we've been doing this for 20 years, but you could say it's a sad commentary, or maybe we're really visionary that we're so far ahead of the curve, but we're still at the bleeding edge of computational technology in this nation. And it's something that we believe is important for the security and competitiveness of this nation, and we've got to build the leaders so that we don't lose this race. And so you folks are the ones that are our future. And this is where I should talk about pensions and pay your tax and all, but please keep us strong. Thank you. With that, Barbara and I are going to answer questions if you have any.